Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from the Vale Brewing Company out of Richmond, Virginia. This beer is called The Victim. I don't know what those sunglasses mean. Oh. I thought it was sunglasses, but now that I look at it, it looks like it's a train station. I don't know, it's weird. Anyways, it's so hard to read the description on these cans too. It's printed super small. This is a sour double IPA with raspberries, blueberries, peaches, and lactose. And it is 8.0 ABV. I did have this on tap at the Vale, but it was like 2 months ago, so I honestly don't remember tasting notes or anything about it. So it's kind of going in new for me. I know I must have liked it a little bit, or else I wouldn't have bought it. So, anyways, yeah, that's all I got on this guy. So I'm gonna crack it open and see what we got. Whoa, that was filled to the brim. Holy crap! As you can see, it pours a really pretty dark pink to almost a purple color with a really bright pink head, slightly less than one finger. Definitely get the raspberry and blueberry. I don't know. What was the other? Oh, peaches. Yeah. I don't know that I get peaches. Yeah. I don't know. I get the raspberry. So I definitely get the raspberry because raspberry is like one of the most pungent fruits as far as aroma or taste, but aroma especially. Um, Blueberry usually is a lot harder to really get something out of, but to me it always just adds like an extra funk to beers rather than like an actual, like, whatever an artificial blueberry tastes like. uh and this has that raspberry, but it also has like a little bit of like a cheesy funk to it, which I'm assuming is not from the yeast because it's just a kettle sour. I'm guessing it's from the blueberry, but to be honest, it smells like really funky, like cheesy raspberry, which I'm all about that. So I do give them credit too because I just had one of those Cinderlands tart shakes, and there's literally like no hops in those at all. I don't understand why they're saying that they're like a sour milkshake IPA because the hops are literally like non-existent. Just call them what they are. Just say they're kettle sours with a bunch of stuff in them because that's basically what they are. This actually has some underlying hop flavor. It's definitely not like the driving flavor. Um, but I do get, there's definitely some acidity, from the raspberry and the kettle souring, but there definitely is some hop bitterness to it too, and I do get a little bit of just like earthy hop flavor. Like I said, it's not the predominant flavor, but you can tell that it's underneath the beer. And if you stripped all of the fruit out of this, it would probably still kind of taste like an IPA. At least that's what I'm perceiving. But that being said, there's a crap ton of fruit in this. I do appreciate the fact that it's still mainly the consistency of beer. Uh, that's my biggest gripe with the Answer beers and a lot of those the fruited kettle sours is like the ones that are so fruited that the carbonation and the body of the beer is bastardized to a point where it literally is like drinking fruit juice. It's really thick and goopy versus still at least, even if it has a ton of fruit flavor, I want it to at least have the consistency of beer still. And I feel like these, or at least this one specifically, does still have. I mean, it's a little thicker than a regular IPA would be, but it's not. It's not chunky or goopy. It doesn't feel like I'm drinking fruit juice. Yeah, that raspberry is very, very bright. It's not artificial at all, but it does kind of, well, to me when I think of artificial raspberry, I think of like raspberry Tootsie Pops, and this is not that. But this does kind of remind me of like raspberry sorbet, but I guess that's if it's real good sorbet, it's not artificial. It's actually raspberries in it. But there is that underlying funk from the blueberry, and there is a little bit of an earthy bitterness from the hops. This is definitely a beer for raspberry lovers for sure. It is a crap ton of raspberry. But I do think the blueberry plays a little bit of a role. The only thing that I think is lost here is the peach. That could be playing into like the slight hop flavor that I get, because maybe it's a little like tropical hop. I don't know. I don't really pick that up or think that's what it is, but it could be. But it makes sense because just raspberry is so much of a stronger flavor than peach. And obviously by looking at this, there's a good amount of raspberry in this because it looks like a raspberry smoothie. But it still has a consistency of beer, and it's really bright and actually easy to drink. It's not very sweet either, which is good. It's not super sour either, but it actually is balanced, if there is such a thing for this type of beer. And it doesn't come off as like really thick from the lactose either. I think there's just a good amount in this to make it like smooth and easy to drink, but it's not overkill either. I would say for this style, I think they did a pretty good job. It's probably even a little more heavily fruited than like the Hudson Valley ones. And in my opinion, as far as like sour fruited IPAs go, Hudson Valley is definitely the top for sure. But this is similar to some stuff that I've had from them, and it's probably up there with the best ones I've had. It's for sure not my favorite style, but I think it's pretty well done for what it is. I honestly don't remember what this cost, but I'm guessing it was probably around $20 a 4-pack. If it was much more than that, I wouldn't have bought it. So I know it wasn't that much more. But even if it was a little more, if it was like $6 a can, I would say this is a buy. If you like fruited sour IPAs or fruited kettle sours or anything in that realm, or you like raspberry beers, I would definitely recommend buying this. Some of these just get it's too much. I only want to drink like a little bit of them because I feel like I'm just drinking fruit juice and they're so sugary. This is actually somehow it's like super fruit forward, but it's pretty attenuated at the same time. It's not very sweet, but it's also not super sour either. It's actually like a really nice, clean, fruit forward beer. So I think they did a really good job with this. And I'll be the first one to say I really don't like the Veil stouts, but they do some other beers really well. This is one of them. I don't really like their IPAs usually either. But when I went there, I did really like their mixed culture stuff, which is interesting. I just wouldn't have expected that to be that good. But I think they were doing a really good job with it. So, yeah, this is a buy for me. I don't know if they make this very often, if this is a part of a series or anything. I just bought it because I thought it was good. So, I would buy it again though. This is pretty good. And one last note, I did not feel any of the alcohol in my chest. I didn't taste it or anything either. I think that's very well hidden as well. But a lot of times you get that with higher ABV sour beers, especially ones that are heavily fruited. That's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.